everyone, welcome back to the discussion of the headlines of the day. We are discussing the Hindu newspaper dated April 13, 2022. We are starting with the discussion of the headlines relevant to General Studies Paper 1. Please take a look on page number 14 from the topic of geography. The headline says that no El Nino expected. It will be normal monsoon, says SkyMet. Now, you need to understand that what are the causes of El Nino and La Nina, and you need to know about the southwest monsoon. Next, take a look on page number 1. We are starting with the discussion of headlines relevant to General Studies Paper 2 now. From the topic of international relations, you find this headline which says Sri Lanka announces 51 billion debt default to combat crisis. Now, you need to understand that what is happening in Sri Lanka currently, the reason behind the Sri Lankan economic crisis, and how India is helping. What are the latest developments and what lies ahead? Next, take a look on page number 8 from the topic of health. The headline says that hops as a route to universal health care. Now, you need to understand that what is the basic idea of universal health care, UHC, and how UHC has become a well accepted objective of public policy around the world. You need to understand the routes and approaches to UHC and what would be a possible route to UHC for India today, and also the challenges and what lies ahead. Next, take a look on page number 8 from the topic of polity and governance. The headline says that a merger to better manage the Indian railways. Now, all you need to know about is the recent Gazette notification regarding the creation of the Indian Army Management Service, IRMS, and how it marks a shift in the management of one of the world's largest rail networks. Its aims and objectives, and what is the significance of the adoption of the latest technology and improving the efficiency of logistics operations. You also need to understand that how the merger of services provides an opportunity to redesign the training for new recruited IRMS officers to make them future ready. Furthermore, you also need to understand that what lies ahead for future IRMS applicants. Next, take a look on page number 8 and 13. This is dealing with the topic of international relations. The first headline says that in the shadow of war. The second says that India and United States hold broad 2+2 discussions. Now, understand that what are the covered areas of India and the United States 2+2 meetings. What is the trajectory of India-US cooperation across a deep spectrum of bilateral cooperative engagement, challenges, and also the way forward. Next, take a look on page number 9 from the topic of polity and governance. The headline says that branded a criminal for following custom. Now, you need to understand that what is the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, that is POCSO Act. You need to understand the significance, issues relevant to it, and what are the hardships faced by the tribal youth who are arrested under the POCSO Act. You need to understand that what are much needed reforms necessary for reporting child sexual abuse and also the way ahead. Next, take a look on page number 9 again from the topic of polity and governance. The headline says that a model struggling to deliver. Now, you need to understand that what are the mandates and components of the National Early Childhood Care and Education Curriculum Framework in 2013 and transformation of aspirational districts initiatives, potential of Anganwadi centers, AWCs, to revive early childhood education. Now, you need to also make a note of the causes of the learning crisis in Anganwadis and what measures need to be taken in this particular context. Next, take a look on page number 10 from the topic of constitution. The headline says that the process of electing India's president. Understand that how is president elected in India and what is the value of each vote and how is it calculated. Make a note that what is required to secure a victory and what can be expected in the upcoming presidential polls. Next, take a look on page number 6. We are starting with the discussion of headlines relevant to General Studies Paper 3. From the topic of defense, you find this headline which says HAL's Dornier 228 takes off on first commercial flight to Arunachal. Now, all you need to do is learn the facts related to Dornier 228 aircraft. Next, take a look on page number 10 from the topic of economy. The headline says that cardless cash withdrawals at ATMs. Now, you need to know about the recent move announced by RBI for cardless cash withdrawals at ATMs across the country. Understand that how will this system work and how will the recent move by the RBI affect financial transactions and how safe are UPI enabled cash dispensing machines, and moreover, what is the future of debit cards. Next, take a look on page number 11 from the topic of science and technology. The headline says that understanding software copyright and licenses. Understand that does software have a copyright and how do operating system license their domains and what are different types of software licenses. Next, take a look on page number 14 from the topic of economy. The headline says that India likely to miss year's solar capacity target. Now, you need to understand that what is the solar power capacity of India, its target and efforts made towards expanding rooftop solar, and also the factors impeding rooftop solar installation and suggest ways to handle them. Next, take a look on page number 16 from the topic of economy. The headline says that February industrial output growth inches up to 1.7%. Now you need to learn facts related to Index of Industrial Protection IIP. Next, take a look on page number 16 from the topic of economy. You find this headline which says government completes NMP deals worth 96,000 crore. Now you need to understand and know about National Monetization Pipeline NMP, the sectors covered and also the key provisions of NMP, the expected benefits from NMP and what are the challenges, also the way ahead. Next, take a look on page number 16 from the topic of economy. The headline says that WTO slashes global trade growth outlook amid war. Understand how Russia's war in Ukraine had darkened the prospects for world trade, the recent observations of the World Trade Organization in this context, and what measures need to be taken and adopted in this context. Well, that's all for today's headlines of the day discussion. You guys take care. Thank you so much and keep smiling.